The 2023 ODI World Cup is less than 1 year away, and the entire world of cricket is now focused on ODIs to see who lifts the trophy in 2023. Well, today in this video, we're going to discuss who the best active ODI batsmen are and who the top of the rank is when it comes to active ODI batsmen across the world. We're going to evaluate four different batsmen: Virat Kohli, David Warner, Rohit Sharma, and Babar Azam. All four of them have become brilliant ODI batsmen over the years, and they deserve to be in the GOAT category. We're going to use various parameters to evaluate each of these players, and the total evaluation will be on a scale of 50. The evaluation parameters are as follows. Number one is batting average. I'm going to give 15 points out of 50 to batting average because average means consistency. Consistently scoring runs is average, and this ensures that batsmen are always performing for their teams. So 15 points to average. The second parameter is centuries. We give 10 points to centuries. Now, of course, century is more like a personal milestone, but if you're scoring 100 or more runs for your team, then obviously it supports and helps the team. So 10 points for centuries. The third parameter is strike rate. Now, strike rate is becoming more and more critical in modern day cricket. And of course, T20s is really critical, but even in ODIs, the pace in which you can bat and how you can score runs is also very important. So 15 points to strike rate. And the last parameter is the total number of runs. This is total number of runs over a cumulative period of time across their careers. Now, of course, it's a little biased because somebody who's played more number of matches can score more runs, cumulative runs. But in a way, it's not that biased also because it shows how big or long your career can be. So if Sachin played for 22 years of ODI cricket, that actually is a testimonial to how brilliantly he performed over a period of time. So we will give 10 points to total number of runs, and that's how we will split our 50. The first batsman we evaluate is Virat Kohli, our own King Kohli. Now, of course, Virat is the former captain of the Indian national team. He's also widely regarded as the greatest batsman of all time across formats. Kohli plays right-handed, of course plays for RCB in the IPL, and also plays for Delhi in the domestic Indian circuit. So let's jump on to the evaluation parameters of Virat Kohli. Number one is batting average. Virat has a batting average of over 57. This means on an average he scores more than 57 runs every match. So I'll give him 14 out of 15 points here. Almost perfect, but there are other batters out there who have a little higher average. Second parameter for him is number of centuries. Virat has scored 44 centuries, which is only a few shy to the legendary Sachin Tendulkar, who has a record for maximum centuries in ODIs. So I'll give Virat 9 out of 10 points. Again, almost perfect. He can get there, but 9 out of 10. The third parameter is strike rate. In strike rate, Virat strikes at over 93 runs every 100 balls. Now, the thing here is that as modern day cricket is evolving, strike rates are becoming critical, especially for batsmen who are coming one down or two down. I think Virat can definitely do better. Overrun a ball is brilliant, but I will give him 12 out of 15 points here. And the last parameter for Virat is the total number of runs. Virat has scored over 12,000 runs, 12,471 to be precise. And that brings him in the top few players across the world. Now, of course, Sachin being the highest there, he has scored over 18,000 runs. I will give Virat 8 out of 10 points here. So all in all, if you cumulate everything, Virat gets a total of 43 points out of the 50. Next up, we evaluate David Warner. I love David Warner because he plays for Delhi Capital. I'm a huge Delhi Capital fan. So, of course, David Warner is an Australian international cricketer. He's the former captain of the Australian team. He represents Australia in multiple formats, definitely in the ODI format, also in Test cricket. He's actually the first Australian cricketer in 132 years who was selected in the national team without having any kind of experience in first-class cricket, believe it or not. Let's jump on to his evaluation. First up, batting average. Warner has a batting average of 45.17. It's still a very, very healthy average, but of course below Virat. So I give him 12 out of 15 points. Number two, Warner has 19 centuries. 19 centuries in ODIs. Of course, there are many players who have in 20s and even 30s, and like we discussed, Virat is 41. So I give him 6 points here out of 10. Thirdly, Warner has a strike rate of 95.26. Of course, that's a very healthy strike rate, more than that of Virat's, almost a run a ball. So I gave him 13 out of 15 points. And then lastly, the number of runs. Warner has just scored a little over 6,000 runs in ODI cricket, which is of course not much. So here I will only give him 5 out of 10 points. So all in all, David Warner, total of 36 points out of 50. Next up, we evaluate our own hitman, Rohit Sharma. Rohit is of course an Indian international cricketer. He's the current captain of the Indian team. He's widely considered as the best opening batsman of all time and also one of the most talented batsmen across generations. Now let's jump on to his evaluation parameters. Number 1, batting average. Rohit's batting average is just a little shy of 49, so almost hitting 50. I give him 13 points here, a little less than Virat of course, but 50, almost 50 is a very healthy batting average. Number 2, number of centuries. Well, Rohit has 29 centuries. He also has a little bit of a way to go, but 29 is really healthy. I give him 7 points there. But because he has scored 3 double centuries and he always loves to have his centuries long, I would give him a bonus point. So 8 points when it comes to centuries. The third parameter is strike rate. His strike rate is a little less than 90. Now, as an opener in modern day cricket, 90 is probably not good enough. So I'll give him 11 out of 15 here. Of course, if he was more than run a ball, I would consider giving him more, but 11 out of 15. And the total number of runs that Rohit has scored is almost around 9,500 runs. So there he gets 7 points out of 10. So all in all, our hitman scores 39 out of 50 points. It's a very, very healthy score. And of course, he has a few more years to go. So his stats will definitely increase. And lastly, we evaluate Babar Azam. Babar Azam is a Pakistan international cricketer, captain of the Pakistan national team across all formats. He is regarded as one of the finest batsmen in contemporary world cricket. He is the only batsman in the world to be in the top 5 rankings across all formats. That's massive kudos to Babar. Now let's evaluate Babar. Now the first thing is batting average. Now believe it or not, Babar almost averages 60 runs every match. That's what openers are supposed to do. His average is better than Virat's, so I gave him all 15 points when it comes to batting averages. The second parameter, number of centuries. Babar has scored 17 centuries. Of course, he has a long way to go and he will score more centuries, but in current state, I give him 6 out of 10 points. The third bit is his strike rate. Similar to that of Rohit's, he scores at a little less than 90. And for an opener in modern day cricket, like I said, it needs to be a little better, definitely a run of ball. I give him 11 points out of 15. And lastly, Babar has a little less than 5,000 runs in his career. That's not a whole lot, so I give him 5 out of 10. So all in all, Babar scores 37 points out of 50. Now, when we evaluate these 4 players, these 4 current players, there is no doubt that our own Virat Kohli, King Kohli, is the greatest ODI batsman who is still active. There is no doubt there. We are all rooting for King Kohli. We are all hoping that he can really turn on the performances next year and win India the ODI World Cup. Go King Kohli! Well, if you loved this video, consider subscribing to my channel. If you enjoyed it, I will settle for a like. Also consider subscribing to my Instagram page, BS with VS. Ciao everyone.